one anchor that is now out of a gig. Maybe he's going to another network. I don't know, but he spent 28 years at Fox. I knew him well over there. He got quite ill and had heart surgery during the 2016 election. And he was scheduled to anchor all the primetime coverage for Fox Business from the RNC and from the DNC. And I got a phone call one day and they said, listen, Neil is really sick. He's in the hospital. He's getting this operation. Would you do this? And I said, sure, of course. And I remember it was just, again, history being made. I was there with the late Lou Dobbs, and I brought Lou on every night. I'd say to Lou, hey, you know, can you stay for a little bit? Because he had his show on right beforehand. And I would start, and he'd say sure, and then we'd just have so much fun, and we were talking that, you know, before you knew it, often he'd stay with me for quite a bit of that primetime coverage. And so we'd do that show every night there from the RNC, from the DNC, and I was doing that for Neil, who was scheduled to be there. I mean, Neil has covered a lot of huge events there for Fox Business. He had the 4 o'clock show on Fox, and it didn't do that well. I think there are a few things involved with that. I mean, one, it was business news, and you don't necessarily turn on Fox News for business news. He had a Fox Business show as well. But business news at 4 o'clock, in theory, sounds good, right? Because the market's closing at 4, but if the market's not really that interesting that day, then are you really leading with the market, et cetera? I think it became more challenging as Donald Trump rose in popularity, and I don't think Neil really embraced a lot of the Trumpism or the MAGA stuff to the extent that other people did. And so that may have cost him in the ratings, and ultimately, you know, it came time for renewal, and my sourcing on it suggests that, you know, they just weren't willing to pay what they had been paying him in the past, which is really kind of too bad if you think about it. I know that, you know, no love lost. A lot of you guys don't necessarily like what his views were on Trump, et cetera, but he helped build the network. I mean, been there 28 years, and it shows you there's no loyalty. It's like Washington, D.C., right? And, you know, I could tell that he's not necessarily pleased by this, because I know Neil, and I watched this clip that I'm going to show you, and it struck me as very rushed. Granted, it was at the end of the show, but he put it at the end of the show for a reason. And it was clearly read off a prompter, and there was no real emotion in it. He just sped through this thing. And he said something interesting, which is that he's not leaving journalism. I'm just leaving here, meaning Fox News. Take a look.
This is it, the final segment. But today I also wanted to let you know this is my final show. I am leaving Fox. I've been planning this day for some time. This just seemed like a good time. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Neil, it's about time. After all, I've been doing this for nearly 3 decades here. You know, there are people working with me now who weren't even born when I started at Fox. That's how old I am. But I'm not leaving journalism, I'm just leaving here. But I'm forever grateful to my bosses here. They've been very good to me these many years and offered a very generous opportunity for me to stay years more. That's pretty amazing considering the fact that, I don't know, I might have missed a day or two here and there, battling everything from multiple sclerosis and COVID to countless infections, even open heart surgery. Then there were all of those awful series of hangnails. Don't get me started on that one. I might have been unlucky in health, but very lucky for the support I got here and the things I got to do here, because I got to do what I love to do, report the news, not shout the news, not blast the news, not, well, call names, just call balls and strikes, following the news, to hold truth to power and fairness to all. That's it. That's me. But while you see me, you really don't see the people behind me, the producers and writers and cameramen and directors across 3 shows all these years carrying me, and that can be a pretty heavy lift. So blame them if I said something that ticked you off, and apparently I did a lot. But now I'm off and saving my biggest thanks for last, for you. All of you who've allowed me into your homes all of these years. My dad used to tell me, Neil, stay humble because in your case it will come in handy. I don't think he'd have ever imagined my incredible run, but I do think he'd remind me to thank those who made it possible. All of you. Okay, truth be told, most of you. I'm leaving out the nasty ones who called me fat, forgetting, as I often said, that the camera adds 50 pounds, until one dude saw me in person and said, you know, Neil, it wasn't the camera. Or those who email that I do things that I think were anatomically impossible to do. I got a kick out of those. Actually, I got a kick out of them all. Let's just say you kept me grounded. My Irish mom used to say we should count our blessings and never forget who blessed us. In the end, that should be our focus, and that is mine tonight. Not all the stuff that divides us or the nastiness that embitters us, but the far more important stuff that unites us and defines us and lifts us. I tried to appeal to those better angels, and I'm grateful you gave me that chance. That is why I say goodbye with only good thoughts and good wishes. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday season. May the new year be as fulfilling for you as these nearly 30 incredible years you've blessed me. That means a lot.
Oh, yeah, you know what? It was a very classy speech. It was fast, but it was classy, okay? Like, I know you guys, you know, I don't know how much he really disliked Trump. Like, I would say that Wallace really, really disliked Trump. Neil just kind of always liked to speak truth to power, as he says, right? In a way, but that sometimes maybe got like a little bit repetitive. I don't know. But he was always a good guy. He is a good guy. Like, he doesn't really, how does one say this? There was no meanness in there. He's a genuinely nice person who wants to do the right thing. And look, as a journalist, what are you trying to do? You're trying to look at whatever is sort of in that position of power, whoever's in that position of power, and you're trying to pick it apart and poke holes in things. And he did that during Obama, right? And he did that during Clinton. And he did that during Trump. And I think that the audience really just wasn't there for that. I mean, it's Fox after all, right? And the other thing is he doesn't really have like a firm view on stuff. He's just always sort of nitpicking at this stuff. So if you don't have a really firm view, then why are people tuning in to cable television? I mean, you know, I have a pretty firm view on stuff, and sometimes you agree and sometimes you don't agree, and that's all fine. But you're always going to know where I stand. And I think that people gravitate to that. They really want that opinion. And then the other concept here, again, it's business news, but it's not really, you're not going necessarily to Fox for business news. And if you are going anywhere for business news, maybe you're going to go over and see Kramer. Hopefully you're seeing 76 Research. Don't forget I have 76 Research, my financial research company, 76research.com. You can sign up, code word dollar, DOLLAR, $1 for the first 2 months. Hey, you can cancel anytime. It goes to $9.95 thereafter. Again, you can cancel anytime, get your money back, so nothing at risk. And we have a lot of ideas on how you can play this market right now. 76research.com. We've done incredibly well. So hopefully you're getting it from a publication like mine, a research company like mine that's hand-holding you to the extent that we're really showing you what we believe is the future for investing right now. Or, you know, if you want to be entertained, you're going to go over and catch Kramer's show, and he's got an opinion on stocks, like a really firm opinion, buy or sell or hold. Again, because you know what, like sometimes it's just annoying to just hear the headlines. We want to hear a take on things. So I wish Neil all the best. I think it's kind of lousy that after 28 years, they're like, bye. Like, it's just kind of very Fox-like, very Murdoch-like. But hey, it's business, right? It's business. Neil will move on to someplace else. And look, he's marketable right now because he's sort of a conservative, right? He is a conservative, and he believes in free market capitalism and all that good stuff. So he can go somewhere, CNBC, maybe MSNBC. Hey, maybe they need somebody to join The View. And he can be the conservative voice. The conservative that maybe doesn't like Trump, right? Trump came out and put out a Truth Social today saying good riddance. It was the lowest rated show on Fox. I think he's right. Neil would laugh at that. He's actually raising Neil up by writing that. And he's like, good riddance, you know, Fox didn't need him. And so that was sort of the punchline. But that will probably help Neil as he moves forward in his career, maybe to a more liberal network. Hey, CNN needs people. They're dying over there at CNN, aren't they? Again, 76 Research, 76research.com if you're interested in investing.